Hi running pals! I hope you're proud of me because I'm finally getting around to the gels video! Woo! So for those of you who didn't see when I mentioned it before, basically last year and this year I tested a load of gels, energy boosting things, energy drinks, even sweets, just to see like which are the best for various different purposes. So I'm going to talk you through now my favourite on certain categories, and we'll see kind of, this is obviously just my opinion, but I think some of these objectively hold up, and so hopefully they'll be useful for you if you're choosing fuel for a race. Now please note first that I use these up to marathon distance. I haven't done any ultra marathons yet, and I know that the fueling you need for ultra marathons is quite different. So I'd say if you're looking at ultras, then there are loads of great other videos by other YouTubers. I'll find some and link them, and they'll be better for that. The gels and other fuels that I used during my tests were as follows. Firstly, goo. I kept this over. This is, I think, an American brand, and they are just an energy gel. I got this while I was in New York. I also used Science and Sport, which is another energy gel brand. I also used Morton gel. I used these Power Bar Power Gel shots, which I got, I think, in a freebie bag at the end of the New York Marathon, maybe. I also used these Aptonia chews. They are from Decathlon and they're quite good. And I also used Cliff Blocks, which are kind of gummy form of gels. Then I used a few energy drinks, including a lemon and lime Powerade, which I got in my New York Marathon goodie bag. I also used Lucozade Sport, which is the yellow one. You can get this in most supermarkets. Finally, I used Revies, which are caffeine energy strips, and I used sweets. So I got Jelly Babies, which are a British brand of candy or sweets. So I'll talk about which fuel I found best for short distance, which I found best for long distance, then which were the best and the worst tasting, easiest and hardest to open, and I'll also talk about drinks as an energy source and using things like sweets. So in terms of which is the most effective on short distance, I found that Revies are really good for this. They're basically just a caffeine strip. I think I saw them advertised on Facebook using Charlotte Purdy as an ambassador. I'm not sure if she actually uses them, but she says she does. You just put it on your tongue and it dissolves. And I found these are really good for waking me up. I'll sometimes take these before an interval session if I've had a really tough day at work. So I'd say they're really effective for that. They just kind of perk you up. They're not actually like calories, they're close to 0 calories, I think. So they're not like a fuel to give you more calories and energy through the race, but it gives you energy in a caffeine sense, which can be really useful when you need a quick burst just to wake yourself up and get over any sluggishness. Best for long distance. I would say that I've had a good experience with most of the traditional energy gels. They're basically designed to be good for a race. They're really small, you can put them in your running belt, and they're really easy to go down. So some of the trouble I've had in races with more complex things like these Powerade chews is they're really hard to like get down. You don't want to be chewing too much in a race. So the good thing about gels is you literally just go like floop, straight into your mouth, and they're great. And I found they're really good. I would say that goo was better for me than Science and Sport. Science and Sport is really popular, but I just have memories of the 2019 London Marathon where I used Science and Sport gels throughout the whole race, and I just never felt good the whole race. Like, that was the race where I didn't improve at all on my previous marathon time, even though I trained a lot harder. So it was just like, is this doing anything? But it must have been doing something because I keep going. But I had a lot more success with goo, which is what I used at the New York Marathon, and I got 3 minutes better. It could just be in my head, there's probably other factors, but Personally, I just had better luck with goo. So I'm gonna do some more miles now. I really can't be bothered, so this calls for a gel. Oh, it's nice, tastes nice. I never know what to say. This is meant to be such a great thing. This is goo. It tastes like birthday cake. It's very yummy to eat. That's all I got to say. But yeah, I would rate goo the best. Also, I think Morton is quite good as well. I used that at the end of a 20 miler when I had about 5 miles to go, and it did give me a good boost. Best tasting. So obviously it goes without saying that sweets are the best tasting because they're sweets, they're candy. So I can't really give the point to sweets because that's just their nature. But sweets are a really good energy source. So I'll give it to Cliff Blocks as the best tasting. They're gummy form of gels, but their strawberry ones are really, really nice. They're chewy, so they're a little harder to eat, which is the thing I said before, but they're really good tasting and they give you the same energy as a gel. The worst tasting, I would have to give that to Revy's and Morton. So I took Morton at the, as I said, at the end of the 20 miler I did back in March, right before lockdown. And it was like such a weird texture. I felt like I was eating frog spawn or something. It was very odd. Oh, that's so weird. What is this texture? I wasn't so sure about it. And also the Revy strips. I don't know what to liken them to, but they put them on your mouth as I said, and they dissolve, but they're not that nice really. Easiest to open. I would probably give that to this because I've been in the race and I just ripped it and it opened, which was very good. And then they were all there to tip out, which is quite rare with a gel. A lot of the gels are very hard, like they've got this little strip, but it seems like you rip them in a race and you try it with your mouth and you just can't get it open. The worst for this though was the Cliff Blocks. I've got a video of me trying to open them. It literally took me nearly a mile to open those. They taste good though, but they're hard to eat. I kind of regret my decision. I don't know what it was, but I had to like squeeze, pretty much use the force of the sweets themselves, pushing them up to open the seal at the top. So if you're worried about getting something open in a race, maybe put it into your own little package, like a bit of cling film or something like that to make it a bit easier. Talking now about drinks, a bonus round on drinks. I really shout about the benefits of energy drinks in a race. I don't normally take them outside of racing. So I'll talk a bit about it now. So Lucozade, on my past couple of long runs, so I did the virtual London Marathon a couple of months ago, and last month I did the long training run in Reading. I got this from a shop and it was really good. It tastes like orange squash if you haven't had it. And I have a story basically. When I did my first half marathon at Bath Half, that was in 2017, I got to must have been about 9 or 10 miles in. We were quite near the end, but I was flagging by this point because I hadn't gone beyond 10 miles before in a training run. Then they had a stand with the Lucozade Sport, and it just, I don't know what it did, it was like magic. It just put so much energy into me. And I've had the same since. Like, it's weird. Water kind of does the same. Like, if I'm really thirsty, I have some water in a race. Like, it's a big change, but it's definitely, you get the energy from this as well, and it has a really, really big impact. So I would say if you haven't tried energy drinks, they are a really good option. One thing to be careful about is that you don't drink it all at once. As you'll see from this short clip from my London Marathon video, where I drank the whole bottle, this size, in one go, and I got a really big stitch. Now my stomach is heavy with half a litre of Lucozade. I've got a stitch. Marathons are hard. Oh, my stitch is so bad. Final little bonus round on sweets. I love sweets as an alternative for race fuel. I had jelly babies when I did the big half back in March, but there are loads of other cool sweets that I think are pretty good. Anything gummy that goes down easy and tastes really nice. It's sugar, and energy gels are made of sugar, so have them. Sweets, they're still like, they're a really viable option. They give you the calories you need, they give you the sugar spike that you need, and they taste good. So I'd say I'm a big champion of sweets, and it's a great excuse to eat a load of sweets. So that is my gels review. I hope it's been somewhat useful and it's given you some ideas of what you can try for different purposes. Ask me any questions you have, and thanks for watching.